everybody, welcome back, and I am having an absolutely disastrous makeup day today. It is what it is. I'm just forewarning you. This video is going up late. It should have gone up on Saturday, but since it is now 11 o'clock in the evening on Saturday, that's probably not gonna happen. So it'll be up either late tonight or early Sunday. Yeah, there might be a double upload on Sunday, so I can also upload my Will I Buy It. Sorry about that. I'm in Virginia and we've had some ice storms. Last weekend we had an ice storm. Our power went out and our heat never came back on. So it's been slightly cold here, and we haven't been able to get the plumbers out, or not the plumbers, the electricians out, AC people out because of further ice storms. So it's just been a week. So nothing to, and by the way, just my thoughts and love and prayers and good vibes go out to all my friends in Texas. I can't even imagine what y'all are going through right now. I don't get it. I just hope things get better soon, because that's just a cluster of all clusters, and it breaks my heart to see. So I hope you guys are doing okay. But all that being said, let's go through the palettes and the looks I created this week. So I've only used 4 palettes this week, but with one of them I created 3 looks for a video that will be up sometime in the future. But let's go ahead and hop into it. All right, the first palette I used this week is the Zoeva Cocoa Blend. This, guys, this is the first time I finally picked up some of these palettes and I tested them out, and oh my gosh, they are so easy to use. These are so stinking beautiful. And I created a look. We actually went down to my sister's and hung out for Valentine's Day with her and her boyfriend, and I did her makeup and I did my makeup, and this palette was beautiful. I used Bittersweet kind of all over. I used Substitute for Love in the crease, Freshly Toasted in the outer crease, lower lash line, and then I used this Pure Ganache shade all over the lid. This was so beautiful. These mattes are so soft and they just blend so well. I was really super impressed with this palette, and I'm excited to dig more into this brand. I picked up more palettes. It is what it is, guys. But yeah, the Cocoa Blend palette was really beautiful, and it just created a really soft, I feel like this would be a great travel palette, everyday looks, just easy makeup days. I think this would just be gorgeous. The next palette I used was the Club Nebula palette. Now I have done 2 full videos on this palette, so this look that I did is already up, and I was really just using this middle row. I used Naru as a transition, Rock Hopper to deepen it up. I used Cylon in the outer V, and then I put Astro all over the lid and You're My Only Hope in the inner corner. This palette is so good, and I know that restock sold out so super fast, but they have come out and said that they're doing another restock in the spring, which is really good. I'm really excited about it because this palette is fan-freaking-tastic. I actually did 2 looks with this, so I'll link both of those up above if you want to check them out. The next palette I used is from the ColourPop Dark Blooms collection, and that is the Grandeur palette. Now I had to pick these up just because the packaging is so beautiful, but not only that, the color stories on these are just, they're gorgeous. I was going to do a video where I did 1 look for each palette and just did a review all together, but I'm so inspired by this color story that I just did 3 looks with 1 palette, and I'll probably do one for the Ornate and the Baroque as well. And I'm really liking this palette. There's a couple shades in here I could have done without, but in the end, I really enjoyed the looks I got with this palette. So the first look I used Velvet as a transition. I deepened it up with Dusk. I deepened the outer V, lower lash line up with, or not even the lower lash line, just the outer V up with Mode. I put Need all over the lid, which is a really pretty shimmer. It's got the slightest duochrome to it, but it's not really, it's very subtle on the lid, but it's still really pretty. And then I think I used House in the inner corner. And then for the second look, again, I used Velvet, I used Dusk, I deepened everything up with Jolie, and then I used Lavish on the lid, and I can't even remember, guys, I apologize, I can't even remember what I used on the inner corner, but again, really pretty, just a nice kind of dramatic, smoky, but neutral look that I really enjoyed. And then for the last look, I completely went all out. I used Velvet again and Dusk, and this time I went with Monaco on the inner and outer corner. We kind of did a halo look, and I just went in with this Excess shade, which is, I know nobody likes these pressed glitters, but I've got to say I was really impressed with them. Maybe I'm just so out of it from 2020 that I'm like not knowledgeable enough to be sick of them yet. But I really liked the look. I was feeling that kind of smoky look. I was going for kind of trashy retired Vegas showgirl, and I was really, really enjoying it. So that review tutorial will be up shortly. So just keep an eye out for that. It'll probably be up in the next couple weeks sometime. I've got a lot of videos in line. And then finally, what I used to create my look today is the Natasha Denona bronze palette. Now I feel like I need to dig into this palette a little bit more. Obviously this has got a lot of color options. Now today I used beach in my transition. I used suntan kind of on the outer corner and kind of worked that up and over to kind of create that elongated shape. I did the same thing with magma, and then I went in with silk on the lid, and I went in with true bronze, just a tiny little bit on the inner corner, and then I just used my highlight today, which is Soft and Gentle from MAC, as my inner corner highlight. I really like this. I did use Deep Dive along the lash line too. So so far I'm really, these mattes are beautiful. I'm very, very impressed with these matte shades right here. Really enjoying this palette. And at first I was like, ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna like this because it's so warm, and I've kind of gotten away from super, super warm shades. Well, not really, because I just did a bunch of like warm pinky shades, but like when it comes to neutrals, I've been tending to lean more straight up neutral or even cool tone just because it's winter time. But I'm really liking this look. This eye is having a meltdown, you know, per usual, but I'm really liking this look. I think it's pretty, it's simple, but it's still has enough depth to where it's giving me some drama, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, let me know. I know this palette has been out for a while, but you know, if y'all want to see a 3 looks 1 palette, or if you want to get a more in-depth review, get my thoughts on it, let me know down below. I'm always interested to hear what you guys have to say. All right guys, so those are the palettes that I used this week. Again, a little bit of a hectic week, so usually I use more like 5 or 6. This week it was only 4, but I hope this was fun for you guys. Let me know what you guys are using down below. I'm always interested to hear what you guys are loving, what you're using, what you're hating. But as always, thank you so much for hanging out and talking about makeup with me. I hope you guys have an amazing day, have a rockin' week, and I will see you next time.